Stillness and blessings, family. Love and light, health and wholeness. This is Sawu the God. Welcome to another dimension. We're going to go in, we ask the ancestors, ancestral, ascended masters, cosmic and divine being, as well as the angelic beings for the highest protection. I welcome you to a high vibratory space of frequency. We're going to go into the stillness of self for a minute. Hope everybody in the highest frequency possible, feeling good for no reason at all, in the highest version of your authentic self. In the highest manifestation of abundance, joy, happiness, and well-being. That's it. It's Sawu the God, y'all. I hope everybody feeling good. I'm feeling very marvelous at this time. For no reason at all. When I was meditating, I kept getting the impression, ain't nothing new here but what we don't know. Ain't nothing new here but what we don't know. Ain't nothing new here but what we don't know. It just kept permeating. In consequence with texting with my firstborn, not long ago, it started resonating with me again. Ain't nothing new here but what we don't know. Ain't nothing new here but what we don't know. But I knew something was missing. So I tapped in again, got silent. Then I heard it clear. Ain't nothing new here but what we don't know about being here. How can we communicate in ways to make things better instead of worse? Write it down. Write down things that make you feel good. Spend more time talking about things that make you feel good. And all that could be going wrong. These are exercises we need to do. This self-discipline exercises, because it puts you in higher vibrations. How can we communicate in ways to make things better instead of worse? And write it down. If you use better words, you'll have a better reality. Your belief system does one or two things. It either heal you back into the highest version of who you came here to be anyway, or it's making you sick. This is what our thoughts do, because we create our own reality. Since everybody's saying that, we need to know the reality of what we actually be saying. Because law of attraction do attract, but law of attraction only attract what you attracted to yourself anyway, according to what you vibrating on. We're gonna go in a little bit tonight. I don't know why I'm led to, because this wasn't even in the script, but this ain't scripted, so it's gonna do what it do. Your belief system does one or two things. It's healing you or it's making you sick. And the reason why I say that is because we gotta learn how to tell our mind what to do. That's what your mind job is, for you to tell it what to do, and you eventually start seeing a better reaction of what you telling your mind to do by what it's creating in your life. Nervousness, aggression, and darkness. Where do you go with it? And what do you do with it? Nervousness, aggression, and darkness. Where do we go with it? And what do we do with it? It did a lot for me, because I use it as fuel to make me better than I never been. But where do you go with it? And what do you do with it? Sometimes you got to get by yourself to get back to yourself. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get by yourself to get back to yourself. And for me personally, being by myself, having a long time, having the ability to actually get in a space where I can put in the work to get myself clear, just to be able to hear myself think, and undo a lot of years of unnecessity, in my inner being. I come to the conclusion, sometimes you gotta get by yourself to get back to yourself, and it's a beautiful thing. Your own validation can do way more for you than my validation of you. Your own validation does more for you than my validation of you ever will. We gotta learn how to, in other words, I'm saying we gotta learn how to validate ourselves. Good or bad, can't nobody talk like you talk to you. For those who catch this, cause these are caught teachings. Good or bad, can't nobody talk to you like you can talk to you. Love yourself, because when you ain't liking me, I'm still loving me. It's better to be broke than be broken. So be strong, peoples. Growing is knowing you will at times be challenged, especially if we are to come to the highest level of our being. The 3 power words for the day are humanity, compassion, and carefulness. Things are things. Don't be impressed with things. You don't let the clothes wear you. You got to wear the clothes. You can't let the car drive you. You got to drive the car. I say that because in this world of make-believe, I had to discipline myself to a place in my spiritual walk to not get impressed by things or by people who use things to identify with who they are. The beauty in what I'm saying is, I'm impressed with people who know who they are, because I'm not easily to be impressed. So allow things to be things and don't be impressed with things. Allow who people really are to make its greatest impression upon you, or none at all. You have one life, that's it. And this is not a dress rehearsal. For better or for worse, sometimes it gets to a momentum that we can't try no more. But we gotta find something to keep thriving for. In the realm of relationships or relating, when it comes to relationships, I think personally, this is my personal opinion, it's all about how you look at it, because people come into each other's lives to have an experience, and sometimes to move on to the next chapter. Nothing is guaranteed, and anything that's got a guarantee on it probably gonna take some work. Stop explaining yourself to people. Those who rock with you don't need your explanation, and those who dislike you won't even believe it. I'm gonna read it again. Stop explaining yourself to people. Those who rock with you don't need it, and those who dislike you won't believe it. If it don't make you a better reason, if it don't make you a better person, pardon me, if it don't make you a better person, it's probably not worth giving your ear to anyway. No one else's reality is your own. You never know what others going through to be judgmental or what anyone is going through except yourself. To build your light, stop reacting and take time to respond. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They told me to shut that down. We're gonna go to the ADK Loop, Law of Life Book 2. We still on Ascended Masters, Cosmic and Divine Beings. I thank y'all for being here. I'm in the highest version of myself. I am still Sawu the God, authentically me. And we on page 409 tonight, y'all. That might be an angel number. I know it come back to 13, and 13 come back to 4. The topic for the night on page 409 is retreats, Foci. And for those who don't know what Foci means, Foci is a plural form of focus. And focus is where we put our point of attention, whether it's through mentally or through the heart. Retreats, Foci, on page 409, family. The brotherhood of the various retreats are branches or orders of the great brotherhood. The masters in their training in retreats and monasteries throughout the centuries seldom gave more than one mantra or affirmation to a student in a lifetime. The reason for this is that the teacher giving instruction is responsible to the great law for what the student does with it. The teacher giving instruction is responsible to the great law for what the student does with it. And this is why a master or a teacher only teaches a student certain things at certain times. And the rest, it comes known to the student when it's their time. Then the neophyte or the beginner has to go to the master. Now the masters come to us. And even the radiation from the retreats and focus of light is being given to students, and it is also radiated around the earth. Formerly, it would require another individual on the path under occult law to enter a retreat in order to attain mastery in the final goal, the ascension. The method of development was such that it was not safe to proceed except in a retreat under the direction and supervision of a master. The beginner did not have the assistance of the cosmic light, the ascended masters and cosmic beings, as now, nor did he have the knowledge and action of his I am presence, as he can have now. Therefore, one had to work through your own human creation, which often resulted in very terrifying experiences. These occult initiations were quite severe, even more so from a mental standpoint than physical. Now, all that has been set aside, and the individual gets his initiation in everyday living in the outer world, right here on earth, through natural means. A retreat is a place of focus where the ascended master, unascended masters, and students have drawn and focused great light. It is a focus of light, love, wisdom, and power which has been maintained over a long period of time. The retreats are great centers of outpourings of substance and energy, and they are similar in action to the earth as the ganglionic centers are to the physical body of man and animal. They are places in the physical world, usually in mountains and at strategic places on the earth's surface, unknown and unapproachable to the curious. As mankind became more and more selfish and destructive, these focus of light had to be drawn into the mountains and secluded or inaccessible places with a protective ring passed not about them. Some were destroyed and now remain only in the etheric realm. It's places like this known in what's known as the Ozarks, and on certain Air Force bases. It's focuses or portals all over the planet, all around our neighborhoods. The word retreat should be used only for such focus and not for persons, secluded places, or homes. The retreats and Foci, through their radiation and actions, have helped the preservation of mankind and saved them through the centuries from complete degradation. These Foci each specialize in one or more particular quality or activity which the brothers and sisters radiate out through the mental and feeling worlds of mankind. Each one of them contains or consists of the combined radiation and gifts of all those who served on that particular quality or activity through the ages. These special flames in the retreats radiate out the essence of feeling of that particular quality or activity through the emotional, mental, and etheric strata, which are all one in mankind, thereby benefiting everyone on earth. Some of the activities and contents of retreats in the East have been moved from there to Foci or focuses in the West, the Americas. The retreats sustain the divine qualities and activities in the lower atmosphere of Earth, which makes them more available to those who sincerely desire to progress on the path of light, as well as through generational radiation to all mankind. The brotherhood of a retreat keep the retreat and render service to mankind in all life. They sustain the flame of that particular focus through attention and invocation, or else it would ascend into its own natural realm. The cosmic law is also given assistance through the action of opening a retreat each month from the 15th of a month to the 14th of the following month to the consciousness of mankind. The hierarchy started this new action in 1952 by opening a different retreat every month and of transmuting the flame from the retreat around the world. So the earth, its lower atmosphere, and the people are bathed in that flame quality and activity, whichever it is, for the month, particularly the emotional, mental, and etheric bodies, and the animal and nature kingdoms receive the benefit of the radiation as well. The students and all constructive individuals are drawn within the radiance of the retreat in their inner bodies, most of them while asleep. Y'all probably been, since we're going through galactic shifts, full moons, and we know we about to have a new moon on the 11th. We're going through all these things, so many people may be experiencing things that they're aware of, and many people, if not most, are experiencing things that we are unaware of because, our universe is connected to the universe. So any movement going on outside is also going on internal. That's the magnetization of when we're using law of attraction. It's just like breathing. You exhale electricity, or you exhale magnetism and you inhale electricity. This helps purify and attune our bodies. They can go there and receive the radiation of that particular virtual activity, thereby being assisted to develop latent qualities, talents, and capacities. The Great Brotherhood direct their endeavors through this focus. Daily instruction is given by the brothers and sisters for those coming to the retreat, and some attend councils which are being held. Some only float around in the atmosphere in a state of somnambulism, but do receive the radiation. This is a concentration and momentum of spiritual nourishment. The keynote of a retreat is a melody or a piece of music, the closest we have in the outer world to the music of that retreat. That's why I use solfeggio frequencies. That music, by playing or listening to it, will assist one to tune in, tap in, and turn on the vibratory action or quality. and it helps to draw the radiation into you. We will continue tomorrow. I thank you for your time, energy, love, support, motivation, inspiration, and donations, and charitable contributions. Um, Continue to like, share, subscribe, and dialogue. My cash app is $SAIWOODAGOD. That's $Sawu the God. In all we do, be mindful of your thoughts, be mindful of your feelings, radiate positivity, be nice to yourself, and be nice to others. Stillness and blessings, love and light, health and wholeness. I love y'all family, moving light. One.